Hello everyone, I'm Extra Cheesy 87 and this is Let's Play Trails Through Daybreak Part 91. Now we're on the title screen because I just feel like I had to mention that I quite like that, what's your name? Katra's little coffee cup has like the little symbols and like made in blah blah blah, assumably, like on the bottom, like the brand name stuff on the coffee cup. I thought that was like a nice little detail that obviously I didn't really notice the first time we looked at the screen for a quarter second. But for some reason when I launched the game earlier, I just happened to notice that it has the little, you know, the stuff you'd see on the bottom of a coffee cup. Now what were we doing? Oh yeah, it's nighttime. We're supposed to go into the canyon. Gonna be honest, still don't really know why we're supposed to go to the canyon, but that's the mystery, isn't it? That's why we play the game. Ain't that right, Aaron? Those guys at the pavilion were actually real car racers. I heard them talking about how they came from the capital and stuff. I came from the capital. Man, I wish I could go there and race the real thing too. I want to grow up already. Well, I mean, there's a chance your adult life is better than your child life. There's a chance it's worse. I would say mine's probably equal. Better in some ways, worse than others. I see President Rooster's gone home for the day. He's quite the presence in the office. Our project's hit a major roadblock, unfortunately. We need more manpower if we want to deliver our time. The project itself is highly confidential. The president could just agree to our budget. That would make things a lot easier. And the network issues are still ongoing. Oh, my efficiency. Even our business lines have been spotty as of late. Seemed like that was resolved for a second, but well, evidently not. They like had to patch up the connections with duct tape when we got here so they could claim it was only a 0.35% loss. I'm on to you. Just get everything working for the quarterly report and then it all falls to shit immediately after. Did we talk to you guys in here? I don't think we did. Education industry partnership is a big tenet here at Vern, so we're actively cooperating with the Institute in a variety of projects. That's one of the big reasons why we're able to innovate as much as we do. A lot of students land jobs at Vern straight out of college. That builds a real strong alumni network too. I have a lot of colleagues both here at Vern and at the Institute. I might be more of a manager nowadays, but beyond that, I'm part of the bridge connecting the two sides together. I find that really fulfilling. While you're here, why don't you try some Quincy brand chips, though? They're the latest and greatest in headphone technology. Yep. Dang old phone cases, man. That's $8.50. That's a damn good deal. That's less than the cost of a burger, which is not a joke. Man, the Zamurian economy, it's all kinds of fucked, man. Which I don't know, would I rather the computer be the price of a burger? Or would I rather the, you know, like what's worse? The computer being the cost of a computer? Or a burger being the cost of a computer? I mean, probably the food being so expensive is probably worse, but man, getting a dang old computer for that cheap. I mean, there's some, like, minerals and rocks in there that you could eat. Maybe? Maybe? I already talked to you, coward. Don't make me talk to you for your own benefit. Ort! Yo, I'm going to Ort! Okay, never mind. Alright, I'll head out. Come on, man. And you know a place called Ort? That's a banging ass place, man.
Operated by the city of Basel.
I hope it's operated by the city of Basel.
When boarding the Aerotram, please have.
We don't run many Aerotrams at night, but we're still in line for your convenience. Does it not just run constantly? At this time of night, it's mostly workers at the Institute coming home from work. 'Cause I feel like every time we've gotten there, it just kind of is running. Like it's on a constant loop. We've been getting reports over the last few days about comms acting up. So far, they're just little blips. Haven't seen any big outages yet. There's not much we can do but keep watch. It's got me thinking about how behind the curve the force is, though. Cybercrime's only gonna grow from here. We gotta be ready for it. At least we're not dumbasses like Crossbow, who didn't even have a hacking law in the books. Idiots. No, I'm never gonna let that go. I mean, I don't even know why it bugged me, so I guess it's just because it's like, I mean, A, it's a little funny, and B, it's like, well, that's not necessarily, like, that is a thing where new crimes pop up, but generally they just kind of bend the old crimes to fit the definition of the new crimes. Like, the idea that it's like, oh, it's just completely okay and we're not gonna do anything about it. That's what I guess I found kind of funny. Because, I mean, there are times where that's happened, where there's not technically a law in the book that goes for this specifically. But you still kind of, you know, the law is very malleable. If you want to convict someone for something, it's not that hard. If everyone is in agreement enough, you pretty much do it, you know, no matter the circumstances, you can find something. Alright, we're back. Got interrupted. Did we talk to you? I think we were talking to you, right? Your name's Banker Oliver. Yeah. Domestic production's riding high right now. Vern especially. They're trying to secure their foothold in the sector as fast as possible. Empire's reparations will end soon, and Rhineford's on the up and up, too. There's going to be lots of competition soon. No wonder the domestic companies are trying to secure domestic cash flows. Think the bank should follow suit. The CEO, Tossin, he's pretty conservative, but even he doesn't know what direction he wants the company to take. So, can Ereboni just like invade your asses again and like, like at the end of the year or something? Because like they still have the whole mini cannons that shoot the lore equivalent of a nuclear bomb. Like I don't know if they ever really talked about like whether Ereboni was like disarmed, and even if it's disarmed, you know, I mean that has to be enforced, right? Being honest, I think that's his glaring weakness. For a CEO, he doesn't have much in the way of leadership. Because even if you say, oh, the reparations are so bad, Ereboni is like, economically, they've been devastated. Which, I mean, they said that shit after the Civil War, and then immediately were like, actually, we need them to get into a big war, so they're fine. Feels like he's scared of losing the government's favor, and all of his corporate partnerships with it. Bearing all that in mind, I can see why he's just staying the course here, don't rock the boat and all. I don't know, I think it'd be kind of funny if Ereboni invaded Calvary as soon as the truce is up. Because realistically, I mean, you know, I feel like they could take them still. So, what do we got? Today's reflections, tomorrow's plans. Lots of stuff to keep track of. Because, I mean, they only have their legs. Like, they haven't even finished making their robots yet. Like, that's how far behind Calvert is. They haven't even made cool robots yet. We sophomores have our big research papers due, too. Wait, what about James? Oh, damn, did he sneak out again? Rin seems to have caught wind of that. I'll leave him to her. I believe it was back in spring when she, well, you know, scared everyone. Though in his defense, James wasn't his fault. It was his partner in crime, Ronald. He got crushed for it. Like, I'm talking flattened. Ever since then, wouldn't you know it, she's been super popular. James has his own recollection of things, I'm sure. He's got a bit of a cloudy disposition. Me when people don't like me? I just have a cloudy disposition, okay? The students from Armus are really well behaved, even at night. Guess that's what going to a prestigious school does for you. Yeah, this I don't know. Oh, real quick. Was it just me, or did the network feel real laggy around noon today? I don't know what was up with that. Just had it upgraded, so it's not like our equipment's bad.
So,
I mean, it could be the installation was done incorrectly. Or it's like, oh, this is an upgrade, but actually it's not an upgrade. It's like at best a side grade. That's real popular. No, you can't not update. You have to update or we'll turn off service. Yeah, I know your new router, it's shit from ass. But you gotta use it. You gotta pay for it, or else we'll charge you a separate fee. Van. Yo, what's up? Doing some puzzle solving? We're going over all the information we gathered. Man, there was so much to see, and then there was that surprise right at the end. I know, right? I think I could use a break, though. I had a sneeze break. There's only so much stuff my brain can handle. I'm full. Now don't just wander around town aimlessly, okay? You won't have a cohesive report without cohesive research. You should pick a direction and stick to it, then soak up as much info as you can tomorrow. Or else. And there's the student council press side of her. Push comes to shove, she's right on top of things. I understand you have plenty of schoolwork to tend to, Miss Claudel. Please make sure you get enough sleep as well. They can't fail me. I'm fine. Professor Cronkite's research is super fascinating. Even I'm learning new things. They say his work will be the future, and they're not lying. I heard he even had a leading hand in Zypha development. I've only seen little hints of his discoveries, though. What more is he hiding in that head of his? Maybe I shouldn't dive too deep into that for this report. I'll stick to what we all know. Oh, yeah, he made a new frickin' orbital phone. Big deal. Only thing that's changed in these things, in universe, since they were created, was the ability to make a phone call. Indeed, I pity the student tasked with reading her reports. Such information density was not meant for human minds. Like, no, seriously, they upgrade our damn smartphones every freaking game. And what's the difference, man? In universe, like, we're still just shooting fireballs at people. I get to visit the observatory in the special research building. That should give me plenty of material for my report. I'll join back up with you tomorrow. Let's make sure to get our parts done. Sounds like you had a pretty productive day out there, Agnes. We're splitting up tomorrow too, but I'll be able to take care of things here. You're on a guided tour, lady. What is there to take care of? I mean, it's not really a guided tour, but... Right, gotta sit down and focus on our report tomorrow. It's like semi-guided. What's to write about? I'm thinking maybe film history. Once upon a time there was a moon, and then it got shot in the eye with a missile. Ren showed me all sorts of stuff. I'd love to write about the Foundation and ZZF's tech too. People would be like, dear God, find another old movie reference to reference. I could talk about the dude on the horse. I didn't really expect to be referencing Moon gets shot with a missile quite so many times in the Let's Play. Come on, what better topic to talk about right now than romance? Don't be such a prude. What? You're out of your mind. None of us will ever experience true love. We're all NPCs. Not even side characters. Ah. That's right, I remember the one senior talking about it. Apparently romance is a popular topic on trips like these. Well, you could talk about it, but my lips are sealed. Poor Albert. I can tell what you're thinking, you know. Not even the ghost of a chance. Well, yeah, I'm thinking, man, this dude's really freaking thirsty. He just talks about flirting all the time. If he's just talking about flirting, he's not that thirsty. I might be able to help with that. I do have some degree of experience. Whoa, really? Are you serious? Sounds like they could use a tip or two on touching some titty. I was just thinking about trying to fit in some joke about them touching tips. So I was definitely taken off guard. Maybe I should bring over one of them to my local haunts. They're kids, you blockhead. As long as they're on the clock, the only thing you're touching is notes, understand? I haven't thought about it. Actually, no, perhaps I shouldn't broach that topic. Van, you know, I appreciate you saying they're kids, blockhead, but do know the writers, they're not on your side. Recognize those school uniforms. They're a real famous academy back at the Capitol. Don't know which one, though. I don't recognize them that well. Must be nice to be young, rich, and they should take advantage of the opportunity while they can. I can't deny I'm envious. Never got to do any fancy trips or work studies when I was in school. Same. We got on a bus once. Back when I was in school in the Empire, I had this amazing group of upperclassmen who helped me with my studies. They've already gone and graduated, but not before sharing some of their secrets on how to talk romance or something along those lines. They said something about be a main character. Yeah, that'll work. Trip is an excellent opportunity to broaden our horizons. Little point being shy. Doesn't matter how bland your personality is, as long as you're the protagonist of the story, you'll be perfectly fine. I mean, I don't really think any of the main characters in the series are bland. It's more just like a general shot at all media. Julian, help a brother out. All right. First up is trust. Generally, women like sincerity in a man. Even though I do, even when the protagonists are likable, when they do the whole literally like almost every single character of the opposite sex is madly in love with them after talking 2 times, that shit is like so like cringe and bland. Like, especially when it just happens, when it's like the default. That's what gets me. If it's like, oh, they're out there and available if you want to build up and pursue it, I guess. I don't know. I'm trying to, I can't even really think of how to phrase it, but like when the default is that every, girl, because, JRPG protagonists are like 95% of the time dudes. It's just like the default assumption is that they're into the main character. That's, I don't know, boring. That's not what it looks like. I don't have a crush or anything. You have a crush. Shut up. Just leave me alone, alright? This is none of your business. Open book, this kid. Okay, Julian said he's gonna touch tips to me, and then that'll learn how to romance women after that, or something. Yeah, that's where the Artemis kids are staying. Yeah. I'm an Artemis kid too. We done here? We didn't finish Artisanal District, I'm pretty sure. Oh wait, I didn't know we could go to the
Let's
Institute.
do this.
You have business here at the Institute. Most of the students and staff have gone home already. Our security system's on night mode too, so you can't get in without special permission. Unless you already have clearance or your business is just that urgent, I suggest you come back in the morning. Do I have night clearance? Because it says there's a lot of people in there. But honestly, that could just be them reusing the dots from earlier, which is something they've done. They're kind of guilty of, like, they display dots to people you can't talk to, which is cringe. Add to the list. No, you can't just call everything cringe. That's cringe. No, oh god, my most powerful weapon turned against me. Apparently there's still a lot of people we didn't talk to. Also, what's this quest marker for? That's not the canyon, man. I'm pretty sure. I know what a canyon when I see it, and that's not a canyon. Almost done with today's delivery, so I'll be putting in overtime though. God, a lot of late dinner orders today. Once I'm done with the work, I can finally get my own dinner. Then it's off to bed to get ready for tomorrow. Lather, rinse, repeat, eh? Granny always cooks for me at the end of the day. Really appreciate it. She's a good person, man. So you need to get the stepping. Crossbow guy, whose name I don't remember. I'm sorry. Delivery man there. Oh, that's a tiny kitty. His ass never has to do any overtime because he's done by noon. All right. I'm pretty sure you don't get overtime as a delivery person. That would seem a little counterproductive. Because you could just deliver shit real slow and be like, "Hey, I'm still on the clock, baby." Finally done for the day. Gotta grab a bite to eat, then veg out for the evening. The machinery I see these days is absolutely nuts. How do they manage it all? It's got all them nuts in there. Not even talking about the bolts, too. Transmitters, processors, storage devices, you name it, I've seen it. They got it. I can feel myself getting older just look at them. The world's moving too fast for me, I swear.
So, why not stay here and relax?
I love taking in the breeze here at night, and by I mean Willie calms me down. Willie don't make a point of coming out here regularly, though. Willie just makes the trip whenever my heart wants to. There's this professor at the Institute comes by here, and Willie swears he's always a step ahead of Willie. Willie sort of wanders around a lot without really thinking about where Willie's going, so how does he know where I end up?
Do you have any preferences?
Preferences cheese dogs.
Thanks for coming in.
Indy C. Rosette loves the cheese dog. That's canon, alright? You'll be like, oh, actually, the official art book says that she doesn't like cheese dog. Wrong. They don't know what they're talking about. I was an artisan up here until 10 years ago, and that time I saw the whole world evolve around me. Big machines, tiny little ornaments, life's changed a ton for the better, I say. Live a lot easier than we used to. Fight harder too. Warships, railway guns, panzer soldates. I worry one of these days won't make something truly terrible, something that'll doom us all.
So,
Dude didn't even talk about the orbital cannon that totally wiped what's his name off the map. Nobody remembers his name. He's been erased from history. I see, so astronomy originated in the Central East? That it did, to our understanding. Astronomy came westward in the Middle Ages as trade and cultural exchange began to blossom. The University of Elsom can trace itself back to that age too. That cultural exchange gave rise to natural sciences as well. I see, indeed. I've never had much interest in hard sciences, but that's interesting to hear. It feels relatable, I guess, to hear that there were human inventions too. That's good to hear. If you're curious about anything else, I'd be happy to help. Sister Paula seemed very nervous when she first arrived, but I can see she's settling into her role well. I do plan to help her teach her some more, if and when I get the chance. Never held much interest in the sciences, but they do seem more relatable to me now. Maybe it won't feel so foreign anymore when the congregation talks about them. Don't get any ideas about going to space, though. The goddess does not like that shit. She says absolutely not. Okay? What is this map, man?
I don't think I've seen you before.
I don't know how I see this friggin' map. Oh, it's the car. Okay.
Let me tell you about artisanal spirit.
Artisanal spirit. Kids these days don't got any artisanal spirit. They just use their ornaments and the doodads and their zyphers and the what you call it. Back in my day, 1 second, sorry, if I've gotta clip something on. That's me clipping the wire for my headphones onto something so that it doesn't like dangle and annoy the shit out of me. See, really interrupted the flow of my joke, so we're just gonna restart it from the top because it's pretty funny. It's gonna be a knee slapper right there. See, artisanal, what did I say, spirit? Artisanal spirits back in my day, our ornament machines didn't even have dang old names. Zyphers, Ramdas, whatever the fuck those nerds and Cold Steel used. Nobody remembers what they're called. They were just called ornament flippy machines, because you flipped them open and you didn't know what to do. There was all these slots and you said, hey, how does this work? And then Sherry just says, hey, you figure it out on your own, nerd. We will have a detailed tutorial on how to hit the left on the D-pad to activate an S-Craft. That's really important. Breaking down the actual fundamental important gameplay systems? No, we don't do that shit here, okay? Damn, what's that tell my bosses? It's their deadlines and production quotas we're working with. We've seen you around once or twice. You're that project owner, right? Got it rough too, huh? You know, I'm thinking maybe we could vent a bit tonight. It'll be easier for you to talk about your stuff outside your usual crowd. You guys are suspicious the way you keep doubling and swaying back and forth. Yeah, look, I hate how I'm always forced you to do this and stick to that. I hate to tell you how to do your job. I don't want to make it bend over backward any more than you want to hear it. But I can't say no to the higher ups. You know that. What they say goes. No, we hear you. It's not like you have free reign over our work either. I remember getting earfuls of my supervisor all the time when I first started out, always telling me to do this differently or do that better. We've been there, bud. We don't hold it against you. You're just trying to put food on the table like everybody else. Bureaucracy is just part of the business. The bigger you try and be, the more it'll drag you down. You really mean it? I had you guys wrong this whole time. I'm sorry, man. You will not be getting cost of living raises, though, this year. Alright, I don't care how drunk I am. You mind having a few more rounds with me? Sure thing, buddy. Nothing calms you down like a glass of that cold stuff. All this time I thought the artisans had a one-track mind. They're stubborn old mules going on and on about their craft. But my bosses are the same. Think about it. It's all profit margins, productivity quotas. The whole city's been having these weird network issues lately. Our online ordering system's bugging out too. I was in a panic the first time it happened. Thought I'd messed up a line of code or something, and if I did, my sister would have had my head. Thankfully it wasn't me, but it's still a problem. Had to see if I can reduce the server load at all. Maybe that helped. The cafeteria's a bit on the noisy side, but what the fuck are you talking about, lady? There's no noise. But then, so is Basel. If it's a city, no, maybe it's not so bad. And I can't complain when the beer tastes this good. It really does taste better when you're just drinking for yourself instead of having to schmooze with clients. Oh, that reminds me. I've been meaning to turn down the game audio for, 85 videos? I just keep forgetting. How do I do it? Because I keep having to remember to manually turn it down, like, in editing after the fact. And sometimes when well, you know, there were the audio issues for the longest time until we finally somewhat fixed that. It's still not, like, the YouTube videos still sound different than my raw files, which is annoying as hell. But I've been meaning to turn this all down, like, just a little bit. It might mess up this video some, because I'm probably not going to remember that this is the one where I turned the in-game audio down finally, but... Do we have movie volume? There's, like... only movie in the dang game is when they do the little, like... map cutscenes, I think. I mean, that's the only thing that's like kind of a like out of engine like cinematic. That's what that's referring. Oh no, it actually may just be actually referring to the movies themselves. Now I think about it, since that's like a real thing. Because I was thinking of like, you know, your like pre-rendered cutscenes as being referred to as movies. I think I've seen that in other games before, but it actually probably literally means the in-game movies. Since my company's paying the tab, I can drink as much as I want. Guilt-free drinks are the best drinks. As you can see, this place is popular with artisans once they're off the clock. They all come in looking exhausted. No wonder they need pick-me-ups here tomorrow. Previous owners would always take care of them really well. He always knew what they needed. Hope I'm doing the same for them. Oh, you tricked me.
Don't take too long to decide now.
Is that a threat? Alright, I'm just gonna sit here. This the next 10 minutes. We riffing. No, I can't riff. Alright? I need to be teed up for conversations, you know? I'm not like a good stream of consciousness off the top of my head just talking about nothing. If I can get on a topic, then I'm okay, but like coming up with a topic out of thin air, nah, I'm not good at that. Kind of a bummer I can't explore the city at night with you, but that sounds really cool. I'll stay here and leave it to you guys. Let me know if you find anything. Okay? I'm always left back at the inn or at the office. Nobody lets me come along. It's like I've been disowned again. Who the hell is this part? What is this dot? Oh yeah, there's a third floor. I got tricked by this last time because for some reason it doesn't show up. Basil's home to many a skilled artisan, and the draw demands from all around the globe. But in some ways, we actually have too many. It can make picking the right one difficult, especially for the uninitiated client. You mentioned globe. First off, we all know that's a fake myth created by, you know, anti-religious zealots. There's only Zemuria. There's nothing else. The world is flat and small. Like, I don't know. It does kind of... Like, how many square mileage is Zemuria supposed to be? What's the overall curvature of our continent? Since we know nothing else exists. Kind of. That's where I come in. I act as a consultant to help clients pick the workshop that's right for them. It's funny, really. Used to be an engineer, but I hardly do any engineering myself anymore. Okay, so we're actually done here. I guess we're done everywhere since Basel was a bait.
On my way.
They were all like, oh, look at all these people you have to talk to. I did think it was kind of surprising that there was that many dots for Basel, because usually nighttime, you know, they're shorter. There's always like one district or area that you just don't get to go to, or if you do, there's like less dialogue there. Which, really, I think the night times, because, I mean, you know, we spent a lot of time doing NPC dialogue. And I do like it a lot, and will continue to do all of it, or, you know, mostly all of it. I mean, sometimes you're going to miss stuff. Especially with the way shops work now, where it's hard to tell if you've actually talked to the person. But I do think the nighttime sections are probably closer to what the, like, because the daytime sections I do think have too many NPCs to talk to. Whereas these nighttime sections I feel like are closer to what they should be. Because it doesn't... I think especially since, like, I don't really care about, like, the gameplay at all in this game. Like, it's just very whatever. There being these extended sections where we're just kind of talking and chatting, it doesn't bother me as much. But, like, if I was, say, if we were playing, like, the Cold Steel games with the mods where I actually really enjoyed the combat, I probably would get, like, more annoyed at, like, these long sections of where you're not actually doing anything but just talking to people. Well, I mean, of course that's optional, but... Because it's like, I don't know, I'm of two minds. On one hand, I'm like, there is a little too much NPC dialogue, but it is also my favorite part of this game. Because while I am enjoying the game quite a lot, gameplay, do not care about. Do not care about the combat at all. It's just way too boring. And B, the actual main story itself is very, like, it exists. I haven't really talked about the main story much, but basically it's like we're in a rehash of Cold Steel 1. Like, Almada could basically just be like plot point by plot point. It's pretty much just the Imperial Liberation Front, and I don't really care that much about the Genesis. Anything, I think the plot would actually be better without the Genesis, and like the whole place that we have to go to just so happens to tie into our, you know, greater search for the magical clocks, and for some reason Almada is always involved with the magical clocks that happen to be in the place that we're going to. Like, I kind of enjoy Almada for the most part, even though they are, I really do feel like they're just a reskin of the Liberation Front. Or, you know, you could even say like maybe Ouroboros from back in the Sky games, but Ouroboros felt cooler because, you know, they were more, like, the secret organization was more novel within the series back then. But, yeah. for the most part, it's like the chapters are kind of like living and dying based on their own personal storylines, and so far they've been kind of like, Aaron's was good in chapter 2, chapter 3 was a bit of a bust, had some potential, but mostly they just kind of did not stick that landing at all. And chapter 4 so far has been kind of, I don't know, nothing's really happened yet.
Yes, it should be perfect.
But like basically it's like the fact that there isn't really a main plot. The main plot is just that we're very slowly teasing that Almada's doing nefarious stuff off screen and on screen. But mainly it's like, ooh, what are they doing all this stuff for? Who knows? So it's kind of whatever. Like, it's not bad, but it's not like super engaging. I'm never like, oh man, I can't wait to figure out what's going to happen next in the story. Which I know that was like overly negative, but, or like, not overly negative, but that was...
Parabolic shards expanded, initiating satellite communications.
Those were like mostly complaints. But generally, I mean, I think the game's still very fun, and I'm enjoying it a lot, even despite having played it over such a long period of time, which is something I was kind of worried about. That since this playthrough is going to take so long in like real world time, that I may, like, my interest in it may have started to wane, because that's happened before. But honestly, even like 3 months in, I'm still like looking forward to playing the game when I can, which is a definite compliment. Holy shit. Again? One of our research supposedly used in making it, too. I don't want to hear you. Take out his voice box and put it in Blade Wolf. What is it, Fio? Fio? I think it's Fio, right? That wasn't what I thought it was it? A low-altitude communication satellite flying 900 Celag off the ground under the Sea of Stars. Brother, you could have just said a satellite. You're like trying too hard. One of the many cutting-edge orbments you guys are operating in secret, huh?
Indeed. Vern aided in its development, and the president of Calvert has given its use his tacit approval.
The president of Calvert has also given the end of the world his tacit approval.
As long as we continue reporting data on its usage, admittedly.
Sounds like him, alright. Is this how you report to HQ at the risk of anyone listening in?
It's correct. I don't believe communicating using Basel's Orbital network to be safe at this point in time. As a Code E matter, the main AI in our headquarters will begin analysis and threat level determination as soon as it has received the proper data.
Must make things easier having a computer do everything for you.
Something about that just doesn't sit right with me.
I mean, I don't really... They have a private communications network and they're spying on you, maybe? I don't know. Who cares? The freaking planet became sentient last year, dude. It's always listening. There's two sides to every coin, as the saying goes. Marduk ain't the only one whose tech level is off the charts. No, it's not even tech. It goes for martial arts, magic, and the like, too. Genesis and Armada aren't much different. Whether something's above board or not, it all comes down to how you choose to grapple with it. You should try and keep that in mind.
Sure. Loud and clear, Professor Arkwright. I was forced to grapple with that damn tyrant. I know what I'm doing on that front.
Yeah, I suppose you do. Hey, remember that time Aaron turned into a fucking demon lord and we never mentioned it until now? Like 50 videos ago? You don't mind me telling the other two that's all that's happened here, by the way.
By all means. Whether it's permitted under our company rules is a gray area. But that is the Arkwright Solutions way, isn't it?
I mean, we saw it with our own eyes. Like, you didn't... You know? Van already knew what it was. It's not like he was like, whoa, what is that? And then Rosette gave him the classified intel. Look at that. Seems I can't stop rubbing off on people.
So I've noticed.
Indeed.
Good evening, everyone. I'm sorry for bothering you so late. I thought you would be in for the night by now.
Yeah, for the record, you are bothering us a lot. I just want you to know that. Oh, it's you. Wait. He may have seen the satellite from the observatory. Yes, that seems highly unlikely. You see how big that thing is? That thing is not like getting a very wide angle. Probably. Editor's note, does not know anything about telescopes, but I assume, you know, you're not necessarily going to be seeing that one little tiny patch of sky that may or may not have trails in it. Like, you're supposed to be looking at freaking Saturn or something. I was just going to ask you for help with something. So, over at the Institute not too long ago, we... I'll just cut to the chase. Aliens, man. Damn aliens. That's where we're going. We're gonna unite all together to fight the alien invaders. Which I guess technically kind of, that's what like the demons are, maybe. I mean, they're from like another plane, which was like basically an alien. Got it. We're meeting at the main gate, right? We'll be there in 20. We should grab small fry on the way there. Oh, hey, it's, you guys.
The preparations are coming along nicely.
It's Evil Shara and... What was the other dude? I think we called him Evil Zen, but... Who does he remind me of? He reminds me of somebody else.
Much as I wish we didn't have to leave most of the execution to that filthy worm.
He is an overseer much like myself.
I mean, I guess you could...
I am sure he will play his role perfectly.
I mean, you could just call them whatever the people from the Liberation Front were. So, I mean, they're kind of the same characters as well.
Just take care not to let the window of opportunity pass you by.
Nobody remembers their name.
Who do you think you're talking to, puppeteer? As if I would fail.
This battlefield will soon be an essential part of the preparations for our endgame.
Most human-ass sentence ever said.
I will be looking forward to seeing what you can do as well, Golden One.
So when they were making the puppet, like... Did the design spec say the thighs must be, like, the hips gotta be wide as hell? Did they, like, send back the first prototype? They're like, nah, ain't wide enough.
I shall do whatever my contract asks of me. Farewell for now.
$10:05. Okay, very important. Jot that down.
There you are. I'm glad you all came.
Hey there. Wait a sec, haven't we met this chick? That's right, earlier today.
Oh, I remember you too.
I wasn't aware that you had already met. This is Associate Professor Esmeré, another one of Professor Hamilton's students.
Yeah, we heard about you do like vitamins or something.
That's me. My full name is Esmeré Archette. What a surprise. So you are the problem solvers I've heard so much about. And one of you is just too adorable.
Please, Essie, this isn't the time for
Essie? He just called her Essie.
that. I did tell her to go home, but she insisted on staying to help us.
Why must you be so cold, Katra? I could never abandon my little brother in his moment of need.
Little brother? We're just students under the same professor.
What do you mean, just? Here's what you get for being so mean. Come here.
Stop that, please!
Man, think we could swap bodies for a sec, kiddo? The more people familiar with this place we have to show around, the better. The bigger our group, the higher our chances of finding this intruder we're here for. That's true. I didn't see him directly, just to be clear. Biosensors detected an unregistered individual enter the building. So they didn't use the stupid card to get in there? It's also worth considering that the security system here is too advanced for just anyone to be able to slip through. I would consider this could be Fio's sensors malfunctioning, or Fio, whatever. It also may be a droid based on Zypha technology. I very much doubt it. He didn't say shit, he can't talk. Me when I'm trying to be stealthy and invisible, but my stank ass gets picked up by Van's nose. We might find ourselves stumbling on clues we couldn't find earlier today if we're lucky. I'm taking you two with us, but just be careful, okay? We'll be fine. We got Fio and Zeros with us, after all. Let's get to work. Zeros. Dry ass skin. Isn't that like Greek for dry? Wouldn't kill us to be more tense here. Why do we have the children's brigade, man? And we didn't even get Blade Wolf. This is the worst trade deal ever. The Institute's so moody at this time of night. Feeling scared. Of course not. A Kruger warrior would never be afraid of something like ghosts. Not remember all the ghost stories I heard at the school or nothing. That would be silly. Alright, alright. Ghost detected. He didn't say anything. Shards? So someone used their Zypha here? Hey, by the way, what the fuck's a shard?
That dining hall's a bit suspect, but first things first.
Got it.
Alright. Well, we will inspect the dining hall next time. I'm Extra Cheesy 87. Stay tuned for the next part. And bye, guys.